So I'm out here working on my rig. It's Friday, March 21st. It's super windy. Can't really work. It's fairly chilly, but the wind is what kills it. So I wouldn't be able to work anyway. So I'm doing a little bit of work on my rig, and I'm upgrading a couple things, and I'm making these filters. So these filters you could buy complete from pretty much any power washing store. I believe like Expert Power Wash sells them, maybe anyway, just look it up, they sell them. They're called SOFTWASH filters, or you could make it yourself, which is much cheaper, and you could make a ton of them. So from one piece of well point, so you just look up well point. This is 1.25" well point. I have 4 filters that I could make. The well point was probably like 15 bucks, and then I went out just recently and bought the rest of the parts. Bushings, 2 bushings, 4 of these. They only had 2 bushings. 4 of these, and multi-purpose cement, and then these are like a couple bucks a pop, and then the caps 1.25". So all this is 1.25". I wanted as much flow as possible, so 1.25" well point that has a cap on it, and then this is 1.25" elbow. That's gonna go like this, and the bushing is gonna slide into here, and then your nipple barb is gonna screw into this. So you basically clean up the well point. I recommend filing it or sanding it down, because the slots have a little debris in there. Still not perfect, but I'm gonna risk it. And these are about 10 inches long. I think that's more than enough. You could buy the elbows with the thread in them already. It's just the store that I went to didn't have them, so essentially it would be 1.25" to 1 inch female pipe thread, but they didn't have that. They just had these schedule 40, which is the white elbows, and the bushings. So no big deal. I'm gonna cement everything up, a multi-purpose PVC cement. I washed them, so sanded it, washed them as much as I could, and I'm going to put them together with a multi-purpose cement. And I may put a little bit of thread tape here, just so it's fully submerged in my thread. That way when it's in the tank, it's not being affected by the liquid. So one's going to be in water, one's going to be in my bleach tank. And so this is going to go over this, like I said, and that's going to go over this like that. So the filter is going to look just like this, and then your 3/4 inch hose is just going to slide over this barb. You shouldn't put any clamps, so no hose clamps. What you could do is just heat up your hose. So the end of your hose right there is going to slide over this. So heat up the hose with like a heat gun, slide it over, and it's pretty much just going to form itself to this barb. And once it cools, it's going to shrink a little bit and really hug this barb there, and you're going to be good to go. These are very high flow. Pretty much most of your builders are going to be using these, because this is the best way to filter your filter prior to your blend manifold. I ran all of last year and the year before without any filters. I just had my hose dropping down into my tank without too many issues, but it's one of those things that if you get one little piece of debris in your check valve or in the blend manifold and it blocks it up, you're going to have issues, and you might have some backflow. So if your bleach check valve is stuck, you're going to have backflow going into your water tank, and you're going to have bleach in your water tank and your surfactant tank. So that's exactly what you don't want. You got to take the measures. So all this I mean, a ready to go filter is going to cost you about 30 bucks online, but you could pretty much buy everything for 40 bucks. Definitely under 50. Wind is howling. So definitely under 50, and you can make 4 filters for under 50 bucks. So if you're hands-on, if you want to give it a shot, definitely do it. Very easy. Just go to your local plumbing supply and do that. When you're putting it together with the multi-purpose cement, I recommend wearing gloves, because you think you're going to be clean and slick, but you're not, and then you're going to have cement all over your fingers. There you go. All set. Simple as that. A little cement. It's going to dry up, shouldn't be a problem. I think anywhere where it's exposed, I'll probably just put this one in my water tank. And another cool thing is, if you're not running the big expensive tanks, you're just running the 55-gallon barrels, this will fit right through into there. So you just attach your hose, heat it up, put it on, just drop it in. What I do is I just drill a hole in here and pop my Uniseal right into the cap, and that way you don't have to drill through the tank if you don't need to, or you could drill through the tank, no big deal. But this just makes it easy. Drop it in, put your Uniseal in, and then you could just run your hose out of the bottom through the Uniseal, if that makes any sense. But I'm going to do all this. I'm actually replacing one of my 55-gallon barrels. I intend to switch my barrels from the barrels to like tanks later, but this is working well for me. I have decent water flow in my area, so it's not a huge deal. 55 gallons typically is enough for me. And the reason why I'm swapping out my bleach tank is because it started leaking. So little things you got to watch out for. So it was rubbing up against the back of the bed here for a couple years, and now it's leaking right there. And I filled up my tank to past that point, and it was just dripping down and out the side of the truck. So that's not good. And I'm replacing it. And this is my little vent hose. I'm going to secure it. That way it's venting out into the atmosphere rather than venting it up there, because the fumes rise up and out of your tank, and then they're going to come back down onto your stuff. So you don't want that. And this is a good little hack to vent out of the side, and that way the fumes are just going out into the atmosphere, not back onto your truck. Pro tip there. That's a Doug Rucker tip for you. Good guy, great channel. Check him out.